Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today we have another overview brought to you by Blade Ops. Be sure to look them up for all of your knife and EDC needs. And if the knife in this box gets your attention, you want to pick one up, hop on down in that link below and snag yourself one from Blade Ops. They have a very good selection, and this is a very interesting knife. It's interesting because of the size, because this is actually a model that has been wildly popular for probably over a year now, given the two other sizes of this knife. And what I'm talking about is the Riot Exo Mini. Yes, we have a mini version now of a knife that really got an insane amount of attention when it first dropped. The original EXO was very big. Really cool, but then they came out with another mid-size version that was bigger than this, but it had a lock. So yeah, there's all your stuff right there. And let's take a look at this. Well, I thought maybe I could do it, and I couldn't. Let's see. Let's try it one more time. There we go. We got it. It is pretty fun to fidget with and figure out. And once you get it figured out, it is actually pretty slick. And I was really curious about the small one because I really didn't know if it was necessary, I guess is the best word for it. But first, let's take a look at some overall specs. We'll do some size comparisons and talk a little about it and just let you guys know what I think of it. Overall length, we are looking at 6.375 inches with a blade length of 2.625 inches, and blade material is CPM 3V, which was also the same material used on the mid-size version. We have a drop point style blade with a flat grind, and of course there are, I believe, at least two more blade shapes. I think there's a double-edged dagger, a tanto, and this drop point, if I remember right. So 3 blade shapes, I believe. Handle length coming in at 3.75 inches, and you have some really nice titanium handles, excellent fit and finish, and some burlap micarta that a little dry, but it's going to patina up very nicely. I really like the level of grain and like weave, I guess. I mean, weave is probably a better word. Technically, it's not grain, but weave that you can see within the burlap gives it a nice, more dimensional look, and really will look good after some carry. We have a kind of like, I call it a switch lock, I guess. It's basically just this. So as you can see, it's locked. Now it's not. And it opens, and it does that. Yeah. So that's how it locks. So while this is a gravity knife, it's a locking gravity knife. Weight coming in at 3.79 ounces, and a price, $272. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if it's way too much, but I want to say the mid-size version was like 280, 285, maybe even the same. I don't remember, but I'm not sure if 272 may be, I don't know. That might be a little high for me, but again, when you're talking 10 to 15, maybe $20 tops difference of what it really should be, you be the judge. I mean, it's kind of whatever at this point. Here's some size comparisons, and I tried to find some things that I thought would be good matchups for this. Here's the Kaiser Mini Sheepdog. I don't have any of the other Exos. The gravity knives I think are really cool. They've never really given me a strong reason to keep one around. I really enjoy my my regular flippers and locking knives. There's the Mini Penguin. Let's see, what else do we have here? This actually might be kind of good. Spyderco Little Native, that's still pretty short. What else do we have here that is going to be longer? Okay, this is going to be too long, but it'll still put it into perspective. Kaiser Drop Bear. I don't want to spend too much time on size comparisons, but there you go. Kind of give you an idea. It's definitely considerably smaller than the mid-size one. So if you've handled the mid-size one, expect it to be obviously considerably smaller. Yeah, we're done talking about the size. There's it in the hand. Yeah, 2.6 inch blade. I don't know. I really don't know what to think about the size of this, because I personally, if I was going to buy one for myself, I would buy the mid-size. I thought the mid-size was pretty much perfect in terms of everything I wanted and looked for. In terms of the blade, it is a really nice looking blade. I gotta say, I've got no issue. Comes down to a really nice thin edge. about 16, 17 thousandths behind the edge. I think my caliper's got 16.5 thousandths, so right in between there. Nice and slicey. Pretty nice plunge grind for a Riot. Riots don't always have an excellent plunge grind. Sometimes it's a little mediocre for what Riots should be given the price. But this one is much better. I think this one would probably suffice just fine. It would be close, but I think it would work. The tip of the knife is very nice. I like the swedge up here. I like the stonewashed flats or stonewashed grind satin flats. I always love that on any knife. And yeah, the rest of the blade is kind of just a typical EXO, just a smaller version of it. You see the blade marking there is CPM 3V, and it's a nice sterile blade with the exception of the CPM 3V. I definitely like seeing that. And moving into the handle, which again is nothing new. I will say though, I've always enjoyed the quality and the feel and hand of this handle. It's not like the most ergonomic friendly handle in the world. I just like the way it's put together and constructed. It's a very solid handle, especially with the lock. You have nothing to worry about. And even if the blade does go in, it's going to go in and it's not going to come down on your fingers. So that's a really big plus, actually, to not have to worry about the blade folding down on your fingers. Yeah, some very unique things about this knife. The pocket clip is still kind of has me lost. I think this is a better job of keeping the screw down than the previous EXO with a clip. I believe, if I remember right, there was more of a screw head up in the path of the clip. So I think they did a little things there, but yeah, the clip just still doesn't quite do it for me on this knife. It's just weird. But then again, this is a different knife. It really is a different knife. But the handle is still big enough to get, for me, a full 4-finger grip. Rather easy. So that's a good thing. And with a 2.625-inch blade, definitely enough for most EDC tasks. I don't know. You guys tell me. I'm honestly kind of at a loss for a true opinion on this knife. Myself, I probably wouldn't buy it, not because it's not a nice knife. I actually think it's a really nice knife in terms of construction, overall fit and finish. The fidget factor is actually pretty good. You just have to be okay with a manual lock. And it's, gosh, I wish I could. There you go. You got to figure out, it's all the motion and moving your hands like this. Maybe I'm just not the slickest, which I'm very well aware I'm not the slickest guy in the world. So if you're slicker than me and you want a smaller gravity knife, look no further than the Riot EXO Mini, let me tell you what. But yeah, it is what it is. It's the Riot EXO Mini, it's an EXO. So I don't know, if you like it and you like small knives, if you like the idea of a gravity knife and you just like small blades, then yeah, I have no reason to say, I wouldn't because so-and-so or because of this or because of that. It's just not really for me. But overall, I don't know. It's nice. My buddy from Blade Ops and I were talking, and he thought, maybe this is too small. I really don't think it's too small. I just think they did such a good job on the big version and the mid version. I don't know if I don't know how they justified making a small version other than the fact that, well, the other two sizes sold well, so why not? That's kind of like the process of any knife. If one version sells well, you make a bigger one, you make a smaller one, you make some tweaks here and there. You give the people as many versions as you can get, and when it stops selling, it's done. So, I guess I understand it. But yeah, kind of very interesting model here. One of the more rememberable models in terms of just uniqueness and different features and just out there that I've seen really in, gosh, probably the past 10 years, really, ever since I've been into knives. So yeah, it's interesting. It's good. It's a little too small for me, but overall, it is a very nice knife. And yeah. Would you guys buy this? Let me know, because they sold so well the first couple times. I'm just curious if the craving for these is finally starting to secede, or if it's still strong, if it's still out there. So who knows? Let me know. What do you guys think? Is the Mini necessary or is it unnecessary? If you do find it necessary and you want one, like I said, the link below will give you a good selection of these over at Blade Ops. Check one out. Let me know. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you have a great rest of your day, a fantastic weekend, and until the next one, I'm out.